The answers to this question may vary in how they're worded, but what I want you to try to do is think about the kinetic molecular theory and then think, how can I use these bullet points to explain why gases would move around so much that they would fill the container? So if we look at the first one, this would be a point that you could try to incorporate because gas particles are moving randomly and rapidly. So that means gas particles aren't stationary. They don't just stay in one location. And so as you place a gas into a container, it's going to continue to move randomly and rapidly. That means it's not going to be in the same place. It's going to keep moving. Now, I don't know if you could use the second bullet point, the size of the gas particle is small compared to the space. I'm not sure if we could use that. You might get creative. But I do think we could use that the gas particles exert no attractive forces. So liquids and solids have attractive forces, and that holds liquids and solids together as a group. So if you have a glass of water, all the water will stay in the same location in the container. Or if you had a solid, it would sit all in the same location because of the attractive forces. But if my dogs are playing, and I apologize in the background. But if you have... Okay, I had to pause and ask the dogs to be quiet. I'm sorry. So what I was saying about attractive forces is solids and liquids have attractive forces which hold it together and the substance together. But if gases don't have attractive forces, there's nothing to inhibit or stop this random and rapid motion. So they're not going to get close to each other and just hang out. They're going to keep moving around. I don't know if the fourth bullet point about the kinetic energy increasing with temperature, I don't know that that really would explain this. I know it has other things. But then I think this third point also could help us explain it because what it's saying is when gas particles hit each other, they rebound and travel in new directions. And so we can also think about that when gas particles hit the wall, it's going to rebound and travel in new directions. So gases are just randomly moving around and these straight lines just going, and every time they hit the side of a container, they're deflected and they go into another direction. And so eventually it will just fill up the entire container. So I've mentioned before, I really wouldn't have you list the kinetic molecular theory on the exam. I might have you, my most common questions are multiple choice where you might identify what is or what is not a part of the kinetic molecular theory. But I also like this question where it kind of gets us to think about gas behavior.